pieces, feel it sinking in.
Yung babaha, tingnan mo ba yung babaha sa Lorraine? 12 to 8 somewhere today. 7 to 3 or something tomorrow.
No, this might be awkward, but do you see me? But she's on the inside.
Baka wala kong tinadaanan. Tingnan mo yung bridge. Yung bridge na yun. Picture mo na. Yan ba yun? Yan mismo? Yan mismo? Ito ba? Ayan yung kabila. Ano yung kabila? Queens. Ay, hindi sa inyo na yan. Sa inyo na yan. Tapos yung ano nito, yung sa gold. Mas mag-gold? Yung F-train. Yung F-train nandoon sa may damo yan. May kakadamo yan.
Roosevelt Island is an island in New York City's East River, within the borough of Manhattan. It lies between Manhattan Island to the west and the borough of Queens on Long Island to the east. It is about 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers, long, with an area of 147 acres, 0.59 kilometers to, and had a population of 11,722 as of the 2020 United States Census. It consists of 2 largely residential communities, Northtown and Southtown. Roosevelt Island is owned by the city but was leased to the New York State Urban Development Corporation, UDC, for 99 years in 1969. The Roosevelt Island Tramway provides the most modern aerial tramway in the world, running every 7 to 15 minutes from 59th Street and 2nd Avenue in Manhattan to Tramway Plaza on Roosevelt Island. Please note that the passengers must exit the tram at each stop, either Manhattan bound or Roosevelt Island bound, and pay again to return to the other side. The island was called Ninahanong by the Lenape and Varken Eiland, Hog Island, by the Dutch during the colonial era, and later Blackwell's Island. During much of the 19th and 20th centuries, the island was used by hospitals and prisons with very limited access. It was renamed Welfare Island in 1921. Following several proposals to redevelop Welfare Island in the 1960s, the UD leased the island, renamed it after former U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1973, and redeveloped it as a series of residential neighborhoods. The first phase of Northtown, the island's first community, was completed in 1974, followed by the second phase, Northtown 2, in 1989. Southtown was developed in the early 21st century, along with the Cornell Tech higher education campus. In addition to residential towers, the island has several buildings that predate the residential development, including 6 that are New York City designated landmarks. The island is accessible by numerous modes of transport, including a bridge, an aerial tram, and the city's subway and ferry systems. Many government services, such as emergency services, are provided from Queens, but the island also has a post office and a pneumatic garbage disposal system. The Smallpox Hospital, sometimes referred to as the Renwick Smallpox Hospital and later the Maternity and Charity Hospital Training School, was a hospital located on Roosevelt Island in Manhattan, New York City. Originally designed by architect James Renwick Jr., the 100-bed hospital opened in 1856 when the area was known as Blackwell's Island. There are several parks on Roosevelt Island as well, including a promenade around the island's perimeter and Four Freedoms Park at its southern end. In addition to Cornell Tech, the island contains an elementary school. Several houses of worship are located on Roosevelt Island, and numerous community organizations have been founded there. An oasis of peace amid Manhattan's hustle and bustle, Roosevelt Island offers great views of the New York City skyline and the East River. Stroll along the riverfront promenade from the 14-acre Franklin D. Roosevelt Four Freedoms Park in the south all the way up to the northern tip, where you can relax on the grass outside the Roosevelt Island.
Isa halo.
Roosevelt Island is a beautiful island in the East River of New York City. It is often skipped, but has a lot of things to offer. There are many parks, and overall, Roosevelt Island is a great place to spend your day, to relax.